Okay, the meeting of the Atlantic County Board of Commissioners is called to order. In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act of the State of New Jersey, adequate notice of this meeting of the Atlantic County Board of Commissioners was provided in the following manner. Published in the Press of Atlantic City and mailed to the Hamilton Gazette, and has been posted on the bulletin boards in the county office buildings in Atlantic City, Stillwater Building in Northfield, and the county clerk's office in Mays Landing. We had an opening prayer.
Dear God, at Thanksgiving, we are grateful for the blessings you have bestowed upon us and for the opportunity to come together as a community. As we begin this public meeting, we ask for your guidance and wisdom to lead us in our discussions and decisions. May our words and actions be filled with gratitude, respect, and understanding for one another. Amen.
Amen. Okay, we'll stand and face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we'll have a roll call.
Chairwoman Commissioner Corsi is unable to attend today. Commissioner Bertino and Commissioner Parker are attending virtually. Ballas?
Here.
Bertino?
Here.
Burns?
Here.
Days?
Here.
Gatto?
Here.
Parker? Grizzly?
Here.
Kern?
Here. Commissioners have had an opportunity to review the minutes from November 12th, 2024. I'll entertain a motion to adopt November 12th, 2024 minutes as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto, seconded by Commissioner Burns. Any commissioner comments? Call the roll, please.
Ballas? Bertino?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker? Grizzly?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes. Okay, anyone attending in person who would like to speak regarding an agenda item or a public comment, please come to the podium, speak into the microphone, state your name and the town you reside. You will be provided up to 3 minutes to speak. If you're attending virtually and would like to speak, please raise your hand during the agenda item or a public comment at the end. I will call upon your name and a request to unmute will be sent. Please state your name and the town you reside. You will also be provided up to 3 minutes to speak. Okay, now we have a presentation with the Atlantic County Local Road Safety Plan by Urban Engineers, and I believe the presenter is Dave Kuhn. And thank you for being here this evening. Well, she has no presentation.
I am not. I want to introduce myself. So I want to first thank you for the opportunity to be able to speak this evening and present about our countywide Local Road Safety Plan. My name is Jennifer Marandino. I'm the Executive Director of South Jersey Transportation Planning Organization, or SJPPO. Commissioner Risley serves as your liaison to our board. Our agency is responsible for transportation planning in our 4-county region, Atlantic, Cape May, Cumberland, and Salem counties. We also serve as a technical resource to our county partners to provide federal funds, access to those federal funds for various roadway improvements. We are here tonight to provide an overview of our countywide local road safety plan. You are the first commissioner board that we're presenting to. We are presenting to the other 3 as well. The local road safety plans focus on eliminating fatalities and serious injuries on your county and municipal roads. The plan incorporates the safe system approach. If you haven't heard of that, I encourage you to kind of just use Google to figure that out. But it's based upon 6 principles of safe system approach. I just wanted to draw your attention to 2 of them tonight that I think we can all agree on are important. So death and serious injuries are unacceptable, and humans make mistakes. Dave will kind of talk through the plan and talk about the process that we've moved so far. At SJPPO, we're very excited to be able to present you this plan. We are the first, so we're the smallest MPO. There are 3 MPOs in the state of New Jersey. We're the smallest MPO, and we are the first one that will be able to finish countywide plans in our region. So we're super excited about that. However, what I will say is the plan is not meant to be sitting on a shelf. It's meant to be implemented. So I want you to kind of take away that everyone's collective responsibility, whether you're sitting on the commissioner board, whether you're a pedestrian, whether you're a roadway user itself, it is a shared responsibility. Fatalities and serious injuries can only be eliminated if we all do our part to ensure that you get home safely, your family gets home safely, and only then we'll be able to reduce fatalities and serious injuries. So with that introduction, I'll turn it over to Dave to give you the meat and potatoes about the plan itself.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. I'm Dave Kuhn. I'm with GPI. Urban Engineer is also part of our team, but I'm with GPI. Let me walk through. Next slide, please. So what we're coming to you today requesting is a resolution of support for this plan and also for the goal of 0 fatalities and serious injuries by 2050. Next. So Jennifer touched on it a little bit. So this is a plan to reduce, it's focused on fatal and serious injury crashes. It's focused on county and municipal roads, not the state highways. And the strategies coming out of it are both infrastructure and other strategies that could improve driver behavior, pedestrian behavior, bicyclist behavior, etc. This action plan sets the stage and becomes an eligible action plan under USDOT's Safe Streets for All program. And what that means is that once you have an eligible action plan that meets all their requirements, you can use that as a basis to apply for other grants. So those are implementation grants. It could be for design and construction of projects, or there could be grants for supplemental planning activities that are related to the plan. And you see the what's called the 5 E's, the 4 E's plus equity in the middle. So the plan looks to address safety through all those areas. Next, please. So I mentioned the components of the plan, and there are 8 components. Number 1 is leadership, commitment, and goal setting. That's one of the reasons why we are here today. Planning structure, having an oversight committee, a safety analysis process, stakeholder engagement and collaboration. Next slide, please. Equity. There's an analysis of equity and making sure that there's an inclusive process for underserved communities to be part of the process in this plan. An assessment of policy and process changes to look at how they can be better aligned with the safe system approach that Jennifer talked about. Strategy and project selection that comes out of this, which are really priority locations, not so much specific detailed projects, and I'll touch on that. And then finally, progress and transparency. So the plan is posted publicly, so the public can see that, and then there's a method to track action and follow up in the future. Next. So our steering committee is listed on the screen, and Christine Waltman is our chair, and Renee Fair is our deputy chair. They're both here tonight, so I'm pleased to see them both here. And we worked through multiple committee meetings as we developed this plan to help put this together. Next. So we started this in the fall of 2022. And as part of that, we've had 3 separate stakeholder workshops to get involvement from safety stakeholders in the county to get their input. And we're here today with the county commissioners. We had a public meeting in October as well, and hope to have this plan in place and move on to implementation in December. Next. So the goal is part of the SS4A eligibility process. The plan should have a goal that's endorsed to either get to 0 fatalities and serious injuries or a significant reduction in fatalities and serious injuries. And discussions with the steering committee, the recommendation is that we set a goal for 0 fatalities and serious injuries by 2050. So that is in the plan, that's in our recommendations. Next. So this plan can't try to address everything. The idea is to focus where it can make the most difference. And the chart that's on the screen shows different crash type attributes. So when there's a crash, the police officer codes that crash with the different attributes, and a crash may have multiple attributes tied to it. It could be a young driver, and it could be an impaired driver. It could be intersection, pedestrian, bicyclist, etc. So this data is coming from the crash records for Atlantic County through New Jersey DOT. And looking at this information, the steering committee settled on the 4 emphasis areas for this plan: lane departure, pedestrians and bicyclists, intersections, and aggressive drivers. And you see drowsy and distracted in there. Was not selected per se as an emphasis area, but understanding that a lot of the strategies that go along with aggressive can certainly relate to drowsy and distracted driving as well. So the steering committee is recommending 4 emphasis areas for this plan. And that was used, once those emphasis areas were selected, they were used to help drill down in the data as we looked at strategies for infrastructure and non-infrastructure. Next, please. So the results coming out of this plan are recommendations for priority locations. Again, these are not fully developed projects that have identified what would be done, but they're more location areas based on the analysis, and they were selected through a combination of data analysis and stakeholder involvement. Next slide, please. So the data analysis piece of this is kind of a 2-pronged approach. One is a hotspot approach, and what hotspot approach basically is, where is there a crash history? Where are crashes happening? And that's kind of the traditional approach to safety. Where are there fatalities and serious injuries? There's a newer method called systemic, and the systemic approach looks at where were there fatalities and serious injuries happening, and then what were the roadway characteristics associated with that? And then looking at where are there similar roadway characteristics on roads around the county where there may not be a history, but may be the potential for a crash. So looking at those, we looked at both systemic locations and hotspot. And the idea of systemic approach would be, look at those, identify those locations, and where are there maybe some low-cost types of treatments that could be done to help prevent crashes. Next, please. So this is a little bit of a complex slide, but we used a scoring process, a prioritization process that looked at total crashes, and then we looked at what was called the high injury network, which is where there are fatalities and serious injuries. And we looked at the systemic analysis, and then we came up with a scoring ranking process to identify where are those potential locations, to screen them down and identify where to focus on those areas. And we came up with a list of hotspot or kind of specific locations, and then we have a list of systemic treatment measures that could be applied in a number of locations. And all through this process, through the workshops, we kind of work through this process. Next, please. So the priority locations, the first location is Fire Road in Egg Harbor Township, from Hingston Road to Roosevelt Avenue. Next.
So, can I say
Yes.
something? So these locations, I mean, I see that there's like a county road involved, but I see that none of them are intersections that involve a state highway. Was that exempted from consideration, or?
We generally try to stay away from the state highway intersections, because typically those, I think, are the jurisdiction of the state.
Yes,
So-
and that's where we need the most help.
And this is supposed to be focused on the county, what the
And you all
county and
know
municipalities can do.
What intersection I'm thinking that is number one, and number two is the one that Commissioner Corsi, had issue with in Atlantic City. But okay, I'll not bring up Cologne and Route 30. Okay, sorry.
Okay. The next priority location is Delilah Road in the city of Pleasantville, from north of New Road to Fire Road. Next. Tilton Road in Northfield City and Egg Harbor Township, from Jackson Avenue to north of Fire Road. Next. Weymouth Road in Hamilton Township, from Private Road to Hamilton, to the Hamilton border. Next. We have Landis and Cedar Avenue in Buena Vista Township, Union Road to Harding Highway, and Pitney Road and Main Street in the city of Port Republic, from Chestnut Neck Road to Route 9. And then the intersection of Delilah and English Creek Roads in Egg Harbor Township. Intersection of Zion Road and Schoolhouse Road in Egg Harbor Township. And then 2 intersections in Pleasantville, the intersection of South Main Street and West Park Avenue, as well as the intersection of North Main Street and Leeds Avenue. And I think those were the specific locations. And the next slide, so systemic treatment locations based on that systemic analysis. We identified 14 locations around the county where mid-block crossings could be installed to improve safety. We identified 4 intersections where there are no crosswalks, where new crosswalks could be installed. And there's 253 locations around the county where there's existing crosswalks that they could be upgraded. So those were the systemic treatment recommendations coming out of this plan. Also, as I mentioned, behavioral improvement strategy. So we discussed this also with the steering committee and the strategies that were identified on the next slide. There are basically 3 categories. One is about raising public awareness and using social media and programs for that. Education in the schools. There is work that's already being done, but how to continue to grow that. And enforcement always comes up as an area of how do we have stronger, more visible campaigns. So there's a couple of ideas there on strategies that could be advanced during implementation. So one of the things that, so as we go forward here, should this plan be approved, this is a 5-year horizon on this plan for implementation. We expect that the steering committee will stay in place as we move forward to continue to guide and track what's going on. We will, as a consultant team, we are staying on board with SJTPO for the next year to help assist with implementation support. And we understand that advancement of projects and implementation is certainly subject to priorities and funding needs and choices that need to be made. So we will assist as a consultant team with grant application support for implementation or any supplemental studies. And we expect to continue to communicate with stakeholders as we go through the process.
So just a question, so this list is not currently funded to execute?
That is correct.
Okay.
That's right.
I'm sure. Yeah, so in the beginning, you said this is for municipal and county roads.
That is
Although
correct.
there's no recommendations for any municipal roads. Everything.
Pleasantville, there is, yeah. So there's not, most of the projects are on the county
They're all
roads.
county roads.
Based on the discussions of where the crashes were happening and discussions with the stakeholders.
So like West Jersey Avenue and Ridge Avenue, where there's a crash every single day, there's no recommendation there. Although Egg Harbor Township approved a 4-way stop a month and a half ago or so, but nothing's been changed.
So,
And other, intersections
Yeah.
in other municipalities, but there's no recommendations for municipal roads.
so there are lots of crashes around the county, and we looked at the data, and we looked at what was the crash history on county municipal roads, and we had to look at which ones rose to the top, and also looked at where are there fatal and serious injury crashes. And using that to screen it, that's how we came up with the priorities that we thought was a manageable number of priorities for the plan. So that's where the recommendations came from. So
That's what I'm thinking about too, on municipal roads where there's fatal crashes. And, intersections like Delilah and English Creek, that was completely redone a few years ago. And I know your recommendations is only putting some blocking behind it, the lights and enhancing the signage and painting, but again, that was just done a couple of years ago. Same with Schoolhouse and Zion. That whole intersection was completely redesigned because there was so many crashes there. And, but we're looking to upgrade it again. I mean, there's a lot of municipal roads. So if this plan isn't just coming to the county, but going to municipalities, there really isn't teeth in it for municipalities to say, this is a project that we need to get done, because we're not listing anything for a municipality, it's just, everything's on the county.
Right, clearly the bulk of this is the county, so we can, but go back and look at what are there other, where does the crash ranking for those areas that you mentioned, see where they ranked. And yes, both, the way this panned out, when we looked at the data and had the discussions with the stakeholders, the county locations rose to the top. That's the way it was, you know, so that's where the crashes are happening, that's where the fatal and serious injury crashes are happening.
Riga and Kate's have, though. There's been a few fatals, which I think should be at the very top of this list. But it's not
We
there.
can show you the crash data that we have, see, you can see where the different locations ranked. So that was all part of the process, so we looked at all the county municipal
And how
crashes.
far back is your data? I know it's
So our
usually-
data-
It's usually behind.
It is, it's absolutely, it's behind. So the data that we have is up to 2021, it was 2017 to 2021, because that is the last full years of data that we had from New Jersey DOT. So we don't have anything more recent than that as part of this plan.
But I think there is. I think the county's Office of Traffic Safety maintains the fatal crash accidents up to date more than getting it from the state police. I only know this because I've been in law enforcement for 34 years, so, you know, knowing that the data for grant information is always 3, 4, 5 years old, you know, we need to fix something that's current. You know, so, you know, some of your information may be fixing something that's already been fixed.
No, I understand your concern.
You know what I mean?
I understand your concern.
Okay.
But if there's locations there that we can certainly look at.
Yeah,
and- and-
I mean, I'm not looking for you to throw your plan out and start over, but there should be some
Yeah,
for
and
municipalities to read and say, this is, in
Yeah.
our municipality, we should be taking care of our local road and put it into
Right.
our, you know, road
Right.
improvement plan, not just, it's
Yeah.
only county roads.
So I will say, this is not uncommon. The other counties have a similar approach, right? Because of the crashes that bubbled up to the top. One of the things that Dave talked about was the systemic approach. So there are things, even if it's not identified at that specific location, those systemic approaches that we've talked about can be implemented in all of the roadway projects. So that doesn't, just because it's not on that list.
That's a good point. If you
You
go
wanna go to
back,
the next-
if you go back to the systemic treatment location, so when you go back, keep going back.
think it should be that one.
So these locations, so there's 250, so a lot of these may be municipal locations. We have to pull the list together. So what's on this systemic treatment, there may be certainly locations in municipalities as well. Will it hit the one that you're speaking of? I don't know. We can pull up that list.
And there's certainly, Dave, those are things that we can certainly investigate as we continue in that year 3 implementation. Your comments are not lost, right? Like, we can take them back.
Yeah.
It's not going to change the priorities now because that went through a whole stakeholder process.
Yeah, of
But
course.
certainly taking them in and seeing where they fall on that list, and then we can respond back to you with those
Right.
specific recommendations or locations where they fall.
Right, like I said, I mean, a lot of work goes into, you know, a project like this, but, you know, what's going into this project is a lot of outdated data.
It's the best data we have.
But it's still outdated.
So, yeah. So, and DOT's 2 years generally behind on all the data. So, it's hard to get the latest data, but yeah.
Like, I guess, with New Jersey slogan, you know, go local, go local. The police departments will give you the information.
Absolutely. And
Okay. So as we move forward, we'll do this, supposed to, as Jennifer mentioned, this is a living plan too, so it's subject to, being revised as we go forward. Okay. And again, this is a summary. Again, this is what we are asking of the commissioners, is a resolution support for the plan as well as for the goal of 0 fatalities and serious injuries by 2050.
do we have the stakeholders somewhere listed in this information that you gave us?
I'm sorry?
Who the stakeholders are that are?
We have the stakeholder, we have the list of we have the steering committee is in the list there in the slides. But the workshop attendees, we have them, those are all online on SJTPO's website for each of the workshops, for each of the county plans that we worked on, who attended. what was discussed at those workshops. And we can certainly furnish that to the commissioners if you'd like a listing of
Yeah, that'd be
who
great.
who was there.
There's something else.
Yeah, just, yeah, yeah. Just one other thing. Why we have SJTOP or GPO, we have a huge uptick in pedestrian crashes over the last few years, serious and fatal. Personally, my opinion, I know everyone has an opinion, but my opinion is the legislation is bad because people just believe and drive through any short community that they walk straight down the sidewalk without stopping and walk right into the street because they believe, you know what, I'm a pedestrian and you have to stop for me. Well, when you got a vehicle that's traveling at 25, supposedly 25, nobody does, but 30, 35 miles an hour, they're not going to be able to stop as fast, and lo and behold, you have a pedestrian that's hit by a vehicle, which weighs a whole lot more than what the pedestrian does. Somehow we have to do advertising that it's a shared responsibility, that the pedestrian also has to yield to the vehicles. Once they are in that intersection, then yeah, they have the right to that intersection. But to just walk off the curb or jogging down the street and jog right into the street, and people are getting hit by cars because they just believe that, go to ShopRite. I mean, that's in a private parking lot. People just think that they just push their basket and they don't have to look at all. They're just go like this, boom, and vehicles have to pay attention and pedestrians have to pay attention. And all you see is the advertising about vehicles must stop for pedestrians in a crosswalk. And like I said, I hate when I see parents, teaching their kids to just walk across the street because now when they're by themselves, they do it. And I've investigated plenty of fatals where, kids walk right out into the street and got hit and got killed because, daddy did it, why can't I? Same thing with, going across at the light. But, if there's anything that we can do countywide or through your organization to enhance the idea.
Christine?
I know, there's a lot of grant money that comes
So
out.
honestly, and very timely on your agenda today is the non-motorized grant that we received from the New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety. And they've given us, a significant amount of money to work with municipalities, particularly working with Atlantic City. We also work with NJTPA, North Jersey Transportation Planning, on a Street Smart New Jersey program, and we're rolling that out in all of our communities. We've done radio PSAs, we've done television PSAs, so this information is slowly rolling out, but we are focused on it because we know the fatals are high in pedestrian, or higher than the national average in the state of New Jersey. So we are hyper focused on it and working on it. And we do partner with SJDPO quite a bit for education for school age children. So we're on the case, and like I said, the division is supporting us financially. So hopefully we can make a change.
Yeah, something's got to be done. The law basically changed, what was it, like 15 years ago?
Yeah.
And, so now this, over the last 15 years or so, people have just been indoctrinated, and it's a whole new generation of kids coming up just thinking that hey, I walk in the street, I have the right of way, not you. You have to stop for me. And we need to change that mindset because too many pedestrians are getting hit and getting killed.
Agreed.
Can I add to that? This evening, when everybody came in, that's a county road, Shore Road, where you parked, that crosswalk. I think we walked out last week together. Nobody ever stops there. We have a light, there's a crosswalk, and we were all brought up. And we say, all of us here, that you wait. So we wait, of course, but God forbid someday there's that person that says, you stop for me. Nobody ever stops out there, and you'll notice when you leave tonight.
Do you have more to
Nope, that's it.
add, or anybody else need to add? Commissioners, any further comments from the commissioners?
No, I appreciate this. I think this is good, it's informative. I think for future, I would love to see, even if it's an advocacy plan for intersections that are county and state, that involve the state, even if it's some kind of, some kind of plan to elevate our voice on projects that are either taking numerous years or are sitting unfinished, like Cologne Route 30, where we have significant crash data. I think it would be great to have a proponent like that in a future plan, just as a lesson learned or a takeaway. And then just kind of separate from a road safety plan, but since you're all here, question, I guess, maybe to some of our county department heads. I know there's a number of our smaller municipalities that don't really have robust, road program budgets, right? They just don't have the money. I don't know if we do anything with them to partner with strategic partners like this, or just in our own right, in terms of providing education or assistance on grants that are out there for municipal road, for improvement to municipal roads, things like that. It's a hot topic in Muluka right now, is why I bring it up. I just don't know if we do any of that kind of outreach, Jared, at all, and help some of the smaller towns that don't have, $1 million budget for road programs, but are desperately seeking municipal grant opportunities. So it's just a question, tangential question to the safety plan. Anybody have any? I guess that's.
Well,
Okay.
there is, every year we get a list of all the municipalities as well as counties, what we receive in terms of funding for, the municipal and county roads. And it's all tied to, the tax on gasoline. So they get the same information we get. So no one, that works both ways. If somebody's having a difficult time, we certainly could advocate for them or help them. But as long as I've been, I don't think anybody's ever said anything to me about we don't have the money to do that. Every single town that I've seen has, they get money. I look at it just to see what Helena County. When I mean Helena County, I mean the county, not only county government, but the county gets. There's money that comes in. I can't tell you what each town gets, but I look to see that the towns are getting something. So, plus the fact, and these guys will tell you, I'm not familiar with the exact requirements. Our requirements for county roads are much higher because we're supposed to, we're usually faster speed limits, and you're handling more traffic moving back and forth through the county and outside the county. So we handle more traffic than they do. So their requirements for their road construction is less than ours.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Do you guys ever get calls? Out of the clear blue sky from towns asking you for?
Usually when they're asking us, it's...
Right, typically it's location specific, and it's usually an intersection with a county road where, they're experiencing some
But they
issue
could
where
be
they
coming to you
reach
for a
out.
municipal only road and asking for assistance.
They've never done that, but, if they called, I'm sure we could see what resources are available
Okay.
and see how we might be able
That's
to
good to know.
assist.
All right, thanks.
Thanks, Brad. Thank you very much. Great,
Thank you.
really appreciate the information.
Thank you.
Okay, that brings us to professional agreements, resolution 595.
Is there a resolution for that? Oh, okay. So do we need to do that now? Okay.
Thank you, John.
Thank you all.
Thank you very much.
Someone stay.
John's out.
I was so confused seeing them sitting there.
See how they think of John.
John's
I
gone.
know.
He's working that shade CPM. Part-time with him.
All right,
Yep.
resolution 595.
Amending resolution number 658 adopted on December 5th, 2023, a professional services agreement with various consultants under the 2015 Bridge and Dam Engineering Services Pool to extend the term date only, no additional cost.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto, seconded by Commissioner Ballas. Any commissioner comments? Seeing here none, anything from the public? Okay, we'll have a roll call.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Days,
Yes.
Gatto,
Yes.
Parker, Grizzly,
Yes.
Kern.
Yes, motion carries. Resolution 596, please.
Amending Resolution Number 659 adopted on December 5th, 2023, a professional services agreement with various consultants under the 2019 Dam and Transportation Infrastructure Pool to extend the term date only, no additional cost.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Commissioner Risley, seconded by Commissioner Days. Any commissioner comments? Seeing here none, anything from the public? May we have a roll call?
Ballas?
Yes.
Patino?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker? Grizzly?
Yes.
Kern.
Yes, motion carries. Change orders was starting with Resolution 597.
Change order number 3, a contract with Arawak Paving Company Incorporated for the resurfacing of the 2022 on-call maintenance on various county roads, net increase $28,470.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto, seconded by Commissioner Days. Any commissioner comments? Seeing here none, anything from the public? May we have a roll call?
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker? Grizzly?
Yes.
Kern.
Yes, motion carries. Resolution 598.
Change order number 2, a contract with Deal Electric Incorporated for the 2023 improvements of the flashing beacon system on various county roads, net decrease $95,351.27.
Moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Bell, seconded by Commissioner Kuhn. Commissioner Burns, any commissioner comments?
Madam Chair.
Yes. Nice
Jerry,
decrease, huh?
Jerry and Doug, thank you for getting this project done. I know I was a pain in the neck for almost 2 years about it, but they look great out there. They're functioning the way they're supposed to function. And they come in $95,000 under budget. Beautiful thing.
Not bad. Not bad, thank you. Any other commissioner comment? Anything from the public? May we have a roll call?
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker? Grizzly?
Yes.
Kern.
Yes, motion carries. It brings us to leases with Resolution 599.
Lease agreement with Bunaburo for the operation of a senior nutrition site center, amount not to exceed $9,000.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Burns, seconded by Commissioner Gatto. Any commissioner comments? Seeing, hearing none, anything from the public? May we have a roll call?
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker? Grizzly?
Yes.
Kern.
Yes, motion carries. Resolution 600.
Interlocal services agreement with the Atlantic County Improvement Authority for the release of funds to partially fund construction of Building 2 at the National Aerospace Research and Technology Park, amount not to exceed $2,500,000.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Risley, seconded by Commissioner Ballas. Any commissioner comments? Seeing, hearing none, anything from the public? May we have a roll call?
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker? Grizzly?
Yes.
Kern.
Yes, motion carries. Resolution 601, please.
Interlocal services agreement with the Atlantic County Improvement Authority to provide construction management services for the Justice Facility Park and Lot repaving project, amount not to exceed $38,000.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto, seconded by Commissioner Burns. Any commissioner comments? Seeing, hearing none, anything from the public? Have a roll call.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker? I'm sorry, Grizzly?
Yes.
Kern.
Yes, motion carries. Resolution 602.
Interlocal services agreement with the Atlantic County Improvement Authority to provide construction management services for the Galloway Library HVAC upgrades, amount not to exceed $65,830.
Moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Burns, seconded by Commissioner Days. Any commissioner comments? Seeing, hearing none, anything from the public? Have a roll call.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker? Grizzly?
Yes.
Kern.
Yes, motion carries. I'll entertain a motion to combine and adopt resolutions number 603 to 605, Chapter 159.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Risley, seconded by Commissioner Gatto. Any commissioner comments? Seeing, hearing none, anything from the public? Take a roll call.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker? Grizzly?
Yes.
Kern.
Yes. Resolution 606, and I just want to say, we are bringing this up again because we just had a misline item. The total was correct on it, but we had a line item that missed. So resolution 606, please.
Amending Resolution Number 581, adopted on November 12, 2024, a resolution requesting a transfer in the 2024 budget in accordance with the provision of NJS 40A:4-58 to correct a line item only, no additional cost.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gatto, seconded by Commissioner Risley. Any commissioner comments? Seeing hearing none, anything from the public? Hey, Robert, roll call.
Ballas?
Yes.
Bertino?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Dees?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker? Risley?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes, motion carries. If anyone has received copies of written communications or petitions and have any comments at this time? Okay, any reports of special committees of the board? Any unfinished business? Any new business? Okay, anyone attending in person that would like to speak now in public comment, please come to the podium and speak into the microphone, state your name and the town you reside. If you're attending virtually, you would like to make a public comment, please raise your hand. I'll call upon your name and a request to unmute will be sent. Please state your name and the town you reside. You will also have up to 3 minutes. Is there anybody from the public? No. Any comments for the good of the order?
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, happy
Yeah,
Thanksgiving.
Everybody enjoy your families and happy Thanksgiving.
And, I forgot to say it at our last meeting, but congratulations to our chairwoman for winning her election.
Yes.
Um,
Congratulations.
Commissioner Bertino, he was a shoo-in anyway, but.
He loves that.
Yes, he
Welcome
was.
aboard, if Mike is listening, welcome aboard to Mike, and
Yeah, it's certified.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Oh, you know, I should just put one reminder out there again about the elevator replacement scheduled for Stillwater Building. So the access by the elevator here at 2001 South Shore Road, Northville, will be temporarily unavailable beginning Monday, November 18th, continuing through December for a full replacement of the elevator. So in-person access to the commission buildings after November 18th will only be available through the front entrance, which has a very long stairway. The public will have virtual access throughout this time when the meetings are available through the county website. So I have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye. We are now adjourned.